Greetings, fellow students and teachers. My name is Sun Suu Chi, and I am from SMK Aipute CEB 4035. And today I would like to present to you a classic novel that I feel is often misinterpreted, namely Animal Farm, written by George Orwell and published by Penguin & Co. Books. Now, most people interpret George Orwell's most famous work as a commentary on socialism and communism, but that is a common misrepresentation. George Orwell himself was a prominent socialist. Now, then, we must ask, what is the main message of the book? Well, today I would like to take you to explore that, starting with our first and most prominent characters, the pigs, namely Napoleon and Snowball. Now, Napoleon and Snowball are very huge characters in the novel, even being featured on the cover. The pigs are stand-ins for the higher class, the ones benefiting most from the revolution. Out of the two leaders, Snowball seems to be the most benevolent and caring. He arranges committees and classes in order to educate the animals as well as give them power over their own affairs, while Napoleon seems to be the more domineering as well as straightforward. But ultimately, Snowball is vanquished by Napoleon from the farm, and Napoleon assumes full tyranny. Now, I think the pigs might represent the people we put in power, as we say, the higher class. George Orwell might be using the pigs to warn us of who we choose to elect and put in high positions of power. The next most prominent character is Boxer. Boxer the horse is the strongest animal in Animal Farm and a representation of the workforce. Just like Boxer, the workforce is an integral part of every functioning society, but are often mistreated due to their being uneducated. Boxer is the strongest animal on Animal Farm, but is also the most gullible. He easily accepts and absorbs everything Napoleon tells him, the most damning evidence being his own two personal maxims. Napoleon is always right, and I will work harder. The other most prominent characters that I believe deserves a mention are the sheep. The sheep are Napoleon's most loyal followers, and I believe are the most dangerous class of people. The sheep represent people that would rather scream and yell over arguments rather than listening. They accept what is the most easy to understand instead of what is actually factual. Proving this are their own personal mottos: 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Something that came and was composed by Napoleon after the complicated rules of animalism were too hard for the sheep to understand. The sheep are maliciously ignorant and horrifically unknowledgeable. I think the sheep had a great effect leading to Napoleon's tyranny. Finally, we have my most favorite character, Benjamin the donkey. Benjamin is a representation of the older generation and is easily the most disillusioned and sharpened of all the animals. Benjamin knows how to read as well as any other pig, but refuses to. Benjamin's favorite quote is, "Donkeys never grow old. You've never seen a dead donkey, have you?" I think this hints to him already predicting the end of the story and already seeing the outcome of the power corrupting the pigs. But he refuses to reveal this to his comrades for one reason or the other until it is too late. Benjamin is the first to realize Boxer is being sold to the knackers because he is the only one of the animals that is able to fluently read the sign on the side of the van that is taking Boxer away. But when this fact finally dawns on the animals, the van has already ridden off and Boxer has been brought to a tragic, horrific death. After all that is said and done, we must ask ourselves, what is the message of Animal Farm? What is the core message George Orwell is trying to tell us? I believe George Orwell's most famous work, Animal Farm, isn't a commentary on communism or socialism, but rather a warning on who we put in positions of high power. If we allow ourselves to be naive and believe everything the pigs say, we are no different from the sheep. we put these people in power, and we must be careful of that. We must always remind ourselves to stand up on every injustice and to believe that we have a voice. Now, I would like to share from you, on a final note, my favorite quote of this whole book that truly represents the hopelessness and helplessness of the situations the animals put themselves in. The animals looked from pig to man to pig, and from pig to man again, but were not able to distinguish the two. I believe this quote truly does sum up everything, the hopelessness, helplessness of the situation, as well as how the inevitability of power corrupting us. The pigs were once so hopeful and helpful, had been corrupted by their own greed. And this is a really big warning to all of us. Thank you.